Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Sunday, November 6th, fifth day of Cheshvan. Here we go. First of all, a reminder that there's special slichos that some shuls will be reciting on Monday morning, this coming Monday morning, the 7th of November, also on Thursday morning, and also on the following Monday morning. We'll tell you more about that tomorrow. Meanwhile, I want to tell you that things will now change. I can't say halachas change. Halachas are eternal, but now that we're changing the clock, it's going to change how some of your life is going to run until you get used to it over the next few days. So let's go over that real quickly. Sunday morning, very early at 2 a.m. In a lot of the areas listening to this daily Devar, the clock is going to change backwards. 1 hour. When the clock changes backwards, hear how it affects you halachically. There were those of you who like to daven early in the morning, which were kind of like blocked out because sunrise was so late the last couple of weeks, and you're not really supposed to say Shemona Esrei until sunrise. So now sunrise has moved an hour earlier. So everyone's free to daven an hour earlier. That's sort of good news. The sort of bad news is that the end of the time to say Shema in the morning has now jumped an hour earlier, so you need to watch for that. For those of you who like to sleep in all the way till 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning, well, the last time to say Shema in some areas will be as early as like 9:15 in the morning. So watch for that, please, and try to check it up on the local Jewish calendar in your area, because the last time to say Shema has now jumped an hour earlier. The last time to say Shemona Esrei has now jumped to an hour earlier. So if it used to be like, I don't know, around 11 o'clock in your area, now it's 10 o'clock. So please check for that too. I'm only saying very approximate times. It really depends on where you live. But the last time to say Shema has moved an hour earlier now in the morning. Earliest chance to say mincha has moved an hour earlier. So if some of you would have wanted to say mincha like at 12:30 in the afternoon, and that was too early, now you can do it in some places as early as like 12:15 in the afternoon, and that's kind of good news for people who want to get an early jump on mincha. The bad news is that now your last chance to say mincha will be about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, depending on where you live, where it used to be 6 o'clock in the afternoon. The good news is, for those of you who like to say Marav early, you can now say Marav pretty early, like depending on where you live, could be as early as right after sunset. Sunset could be, I don't know, around 5 o'clock in some areas. So you can say Marav early in the afternoon if you like to do that. And let's see, other changes. The last chance to say Marav is still the same. You're supposed to say it before you go to sleep or before the middle of the night, or if you're desperate, your last chance is before the crack of dawn. That pretty much remains the same. Watch for next Friday. Shabbos is going to start an hour earlier, so we're all going to have to rush on Friday afternoons because Shabbos has jumped an hour earlier. You get more sleep on Friday night, possibly that way. And you get more time to do all of your Saturday night stuff because Shabbos is going to end an hour earlier. I don't know if that was considered a halachic. Many of you already knew that, but just public service announcement today. Watch for all these changes. They go into effect when the clock changes. For those of you in Israel or England or other places, the clock already switched for you. So if the clock already switched for you, then sorry, you needed to know this a week or two ago. But it's hard to speak to a worldwide population. You all know what to do. You're all big boys and girls. So enjoy the clock change. It's going to be a little bit lighter when you wake up, but it's going to get dark early in the afternoon. But you already knew that. Thanks for logging on. Remember about Bahab, those special slichos. They start on Monday on November 7th. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.